jacket is one Mr. Scotty Robinson. For Memphis Tiger fans, the name may ring a bell. He worked under once Coach John Calipari in the basketball program. He is now the head coach at Collierville. Very much for being on the show with us today.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, Scott. First of all, I want to say welcome to the show as well, and thank you for everything that you do for the city of Memphis and the Collierville community as well. And first off, I just want to say, you worked under Calipari and Josh Pastner, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I worked for Calipari for 5 years and then Pastner for 1.
Could you talk about as a whole, like what that was like as a whole, real quick?
Yeah, I think, it's just the experience that I received at Memphis was just something you can't put a price tag on as a head coach now. This is my second year at Carterville, my 10th year as a head coach overall. But it always takes me back to when I had the opportunity to work at Memphis, especially getting the opportunities to do what I did. I was able to travel the world literally. Working for the basketball team, we played in Hawaii, played in Puerto Rico, we played it in New York, anywhere and everywhere. It allowed me to get so much knowledge of the game of basketball, work under some great coaches and Coach Cal and Coach Pastner, and continue to learn myself. I remember my dad telling me one day when he was asking me about how practices were going, and I said, I like this, and I think I may use this when I become a head coach. Well, he goes, and my dad just told me, he goes, look, there's going to be things that you like and things that you don't like. Just take the things that you like and use those when you get your opportunity. And I always remember that to this day, and just trying to learn things from people as I study them and learn them and see how I can implement it into what I do as a head coach. So it was an unbelievable experience, something that you can't put a price tag on, something that a lot of people wish they had, and I was very fortunate to get it.
Now you were like a manager, weren't you? Part of the basketball team, or were you like part of like an assistant basketball role as well?
Yeah, so I was a manager, and then I was a graduate assistant, but I still did manager duties. And even now, as a head coach at Carville, I'm still, I'm doing the laundry right now. We have a game tonight at Bartlett, so it don't stop. I think the one thing that I have learned from that, and as a leader, as a head coach, you can't expect your kids to do the little things if you're not willing to do them yourself. So, just the little things that, I expect from them: being on time, taking charges in the game, diving for a loose ball. I clean the floor at our gym, and, I do the laundry. So, it goes both ways. And, I want to be a great example for our kids, and just doing all the little things. I kept stats as a manager, got the equipment set for games, made sure everything was set for Coach Cal. He was an avid Diet Coke drinker at the time, so had to make sure he always had his Diet Coke, for games and practices. And then, anything and everything needed, rebounded for the kids or for the players. And, so anything that you can possibly think of, that's what we did as managers. And, we were, on call literally 24/7 to do stuff.
And then you also got Josh Pastner's flashcard ready for him as well, right?
Well, actually, Jonathan, that he did not start that really until his second year, so I was not there. So, but yes, I'm sure that the managers for the team at that time really did that. So, it's something that as a manager, you gotta be willing to do anything and everything to help the team, just like the staff and the players.
Real quick before we can talk about Carville. You also played at Crichton College, which was at the time would switch over to Victory College, where you were a head coach as well. You finished 82-47 in that area. Just talk about that as well.
Yeah, so we started the program from scratch at Victory once I finished graduate school. But I was familiar with the school. I did attend there out of high school. It was Crichton College at the time. I was there for 3 years. I played basketball there and helped as an assistant coach with Coach Miles, who's a good friend, and actually came back and helped me be my assistant coach when I became the head coach. So we had a great relationship. He's still someone that I can always rely on for advice. life advice and coaching advice. So, going back and starting something from scratch, it was unique, great opportunity. I was young at the time. I was 26, but my best player was 25. So I had to grow up quick. So, NAI is a little different than NCAA. So just being able to get that experience at a young age in terms of as a head coach, a lot of people don't get. So, and I think our seasons got better every year because I learned every year as a coach. I think that at the end of the day now, it's more about continuing to, be a great relationship builder. Kids these days, if you tell them to jump when we were young, we would ask how high. Now when you tell a kid to jump, they want to know why you're telling them to jump.
Absolutely.
And if they believe in you and they know that you care and you're not gonna just tell them to do something, they'll jump as high as they can for you. So, I think the relationship building piece is so critical to success.
And then you went on to Winter Haven, Florida, and you coached at All States Academy, where you finished in 4 years, 76-30.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Victory closed. I loved it at Victory. So I hate that it closed. We had a lot of great coaches at our school. We had some fun. We had a really good team.
Some decent basketball games too back in that.
Oh yeah, we played Auburn, we played Tennessee, we played New Mexico, we played a lot of good teams. So it's just opportunities for my kids to be able to get those that they'll never forget. And then in Florida, so after Victory closed, I tried to stay in college, and it just didn't work out. But so I missed coaching that year, and so that's why I wanted to get back in. So I ended up going down to Florida. It was a good situation. I came into a good sophomore class, so that really helped. And I stayed for 4 years, and we had good success. We made it to the regionals twice, and just it was fun. Unfortunately we ran into Orlando Christian Prep down in Florida, and they've won like the state championship every year. They have right now in college. They have the starting point guard at Buffalo. They have the starting small forward at Central Florida. They have the starting power forward at Texas, and they got a kid in the NBA. So I mean, they were ridiculous, and they beat us by 30 twice back-to-back years, but they won the state championship. So we lost to the state champion, so it is what it is.
All right, Wes, go ahead and bring up the other school.
When you look at Collierville, of course, as we've alluded to, there's a big game tonight against Bartlett. I know John's going to give the Bartlett side of that, so I'll let you, as the Collierville high school coach, give the Collierville side. But when you look at Collierville as a town, Collierville is a very passionate town. Their community loves their sports. They love their high school teams. Middle school, youth league, I mean, all the way up, they're just passionate. What's it like to be at a school like that with the brand new facilities as well?
Oh, coming to the new school, new facilities, there's expectations. Everybody wants a winner. I told our kids the other day, I'm not from here, I'm from Indiana, but I've been down in Memphis for about 14 years now of my adult life. And I tell them, I said, guys, I would ask people all the time, what school did you go to? And they don't say University of Memphis or Rhodes College or Christian Brothers or Lemoyne Owen or Southwest. They tell you what high school they went to, and so there's great pride with the high schools around Memphis. And the only way to be known in Memphis is to have a really good basketball program, and they take great pride in it. So the expectation with that and trying to build a winning program year in and year out comes with expectation, but it also comes with excitement because the facilities we have really good kids. We're trying to get better every day. We're continuing to do that, and we have great support from the community. And they built this school, and it's an unbelievable school. But at the end of the day, it's the return on investments. It's like business. They want wins, and we're trying to do that. And my job as coach, I love winning. I hate losing, but at the end of the day, I get more excitement out of helping kids in life and get them to their next step. And winning comes with that. When you have those relationships, when you have those expectations of the kids, hold them to higher standards, I think your winning correlates with that. And I think from last year, we finished 20-12 in my first year. We made it to the regional semifinals for the first time since 1973. We just really bought in. We won the close games. And I think the teams that win the close games are the closest team, and they find ways to win. So I really take pride with winning close games, and I really try to challenge our kids with that. Hey, the closest team wins the closest game. So I really try to get them to become selfless teammates.
Right.
Yeah, what can you talk about last year's team before we talk about this year's team?
Yeah, last year's team, man. I knew some of the kids coming in. We had, I felt like I was a hockey coach because we had a lot of strengths in different areas. So we'd be like, we'd have offensive, defensive subs even in the first quarter. We were limited offensively, but at the same time, we played really hard. And I try to ask our kids all the time, what's our identity? And we're trying to get them to just compete. If we compete every night in, night out, good things happen. We just got to play hard. And even if we don't score, or if we don't win, we got better. And then it's just trying to get better to the next day to get, to have the opportunity to win the big game. And we hope to do that by out executing teams, because in Memphis, every game is going to be close. There's a lot of good teams. So, I think this year we have more offensive weapons. I think we really mesh well. I really like our team. They're good guys. I enjoy coming to practice and getting better. And, they're competitive. They get on each other's nerves sometimes, but my job as the coach is to kind of corral that and continue to challenge each other within practice, but also understanding we are all on the same team with the same goal in mind. So, I really like our team, and I think, this year, depending on with Shelby County schools and all that, it's going to be interesting, on how everything plays out throughout the year.
Yeah, you talk about how it's going to be interesting this year. This year so far, you're 12-2 on the year. You beat Harding last night at Harding. Congratulations on that win, by the way, as well. Just talk about this year, 12-2 so far. Like you talked about with the scheduling changes at the last minute to, like, you just picked up Bartlett again tonight at 6:00 at Bartlett. So, talk about this year.
Yeah, I mean it's chaos. Scheduling's chaos. But I think the one thing I learned from Coach Cal when I worked at Memphis is you got to be able to thrive under chaos because it never stops. So I really enjoy scheduling. I've done it my whole life, so it hasn't bothered me because I just know things happen. So from that standpoint, we're adjusting on the fly, and we're just continuing to make the necessary adjustments needed to give as many opportunities as we can for our kids. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what I want. I want as many games for our seniors as possible.
Go ahead, Wes.
Coach, when you look at the game against Bartlett tonight, I don't want you to give all your strategies away, but give me some things that you as a coaching staff and also your team has to play well in order to win the game tonight.
Well, we gotta be who we are, and we gotta compete defensively. We gotta rebound. We gotta do the little things. I mean, Bartlett's really, really good. Their record's not indicated on how good they are, even though they have a good record. They played a really, really tough schedule. They've lost some games that, against teams that, nobody else has played, like the team from Texas and Combine Academy that are just, they're national teams. So, I don't put too much stock in the number of losses that they have. They're just really, really good. They're coached well by Coach Real. He's been in college. He's had a lot of success wherever he's been. So, they're going to be well coached. They're going to be good. And for us, it's just an opportunity to find out where we're at. We had losses to Christian Brothers and FACS back-to-back nights. And, both those teams are really good. I think Christian Brothers can win the state, and I think FACS can win the state. So, for us, it's just, since then to now, it's just an opportunity to find out where we're at. And, for us to continue to be better, we got to play, the good teams. And right now there's not a lot of teams that aren't playing that aren't good. So, you can't run from anybody. And, it's just an opportunity to kind of get a game. Bartlett had somebody cancel on them. So I've known Dion for a little bit. So I ended up helping him out, getting that game. And, I don't mind playing back to back. The kids rather play than practice. So, from that standpoint, it's, just trying to give as many opportunities for our kids, like I said, to get games. And tonight's going to be fun, and it's going to be a good game.
You talked about this year in general, because I think like a lot of teams, like our district and y'all's district, does have only like a 2-team race this year, right?
Yeah.
So it's just basically y'all in Houston with your good friend Mike Miller on the other sideline. But talk about like how y'all are going to decide maybe the first seed as well this year.
Yeah, so we'll have our districts and regionals. I think for Bartlett, they have the regionals with Munford, Dyer County, and all those schools. So they're actually going to have a regional tournament. We won't if Shelby County schools don't play, so it'll just be us in Houston. So it's going to be we'll have to play Houston 4 times this year. So it is what it is. For us as a team, if we want to get better, we got to play against those teams. And if we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. We just got to get better and challenge our kids. And also at the end of the day, it's opportunities for our kids to get scholarships to go to college and playing against those teams. Like the kid at Bartlett. He had a great game against one of the best players in the country, and then next thing you know, Memphis offers him. So you just never know when that opportunity comes. And by us doing that, we're gonna be visible for college coaches for our kids, and that's all we can ask for at the end of the day.
Wes.
Coach, when you look at the landscape of just basketball in general, just to get on the college side of it, what is your opinion on this transfer portal as far as college basketball is concerned?
Yeah, it's interesting. I understand it. It's actually from the standpoint of a central notification. I get it because it allows other college coaches to kind of know and have access to their information. So, I mean, from the standpoint of operation and logistics, it makes sense why they did that. So everybody has access to that. I think from the transfer portal, there's issues that have come up just from the standpoint of, kids always wanting attention. And, they may put their name in the transfer portal just to have teams reach out to them, but then don't end up transferring, So you just don't know the intention
Right.
From that. But at the end of the day, I think operationally it makes sense, just so people know who's available.
Scotty, you talked about a winning program at Collierville. In years past, before you came to Collierville, they've always been a decent football school. The last 14 years before you arrived, Collierville basketball I don't really want to get in detail, but Collierville basketball was a distant combined 111 and 228 in the last 14 years before you arrived. Just talk about how Collierville basketball can be a winning program again, being not just a football school under Joe Riccone, who played at Collierville and being a decent football coach over there as well, to now a basketball, powerhouse as well.
Well, the success our baseball team has had is always,
in baseball,
has put the school on the map, in terms of the success of our sports program. So, myself and Coach Riccone, we're going to do everything we can. Obviously Coach Riccone is an alum. I'm coming in as an outsider per se, and just trying to use my experiences and connections, and just trying to give these kids the blueprint to, finding who they are as a basketball player. We've got really good coaches. We've got Sean Taggart and Willie Kemp, who was at Memphis when I was there. And, there's, when you're a high school kid, you get that type of teaching from guys that play professional basketball. I mean, a lot of people don't get that. So, we're trying to continue to build a program by building great connections and allowing our kids to continue to push themselves for their goals. So, we're just working every day, man. It won't be built overnight. I think, Coach Mooneyham, people don't realize the previous coach before I got here did a really good job. It's just our districts are so tough. He had some good players, but you're playing Ridgeway, Southland, Germantown, Houston, Kirby every night. I mean, it's not going to be easy, and it's going to be even tougher next year with the new district. So we're just trying to get kids and kids working every day, and just really developing the grassroots of having that love for the game of basketball.
Yeah, talk about real quick how Willie Kemp just came along recently as your assistant coach, and talk about Sean Taggart. Like, what kind of inspiration they can give the young kids out there as well.
Well, that's who they are. I mean, they're young. They're good guys. They've played professional basketball. They're both going to be good coaches, depending on what they want to do. So it's just it's a good opportunity for them to continue to give back to the game that has given a lot to them, and kind of figure out what they want to do in their career. I think Willie's still trying to play once he gets back from his hip stuff that he's had issues with. So, he may give it one more round, but I think Tag's trying to get into coaching, and he's going to be good. He's going to do a really good job once he's able to get that opportunity. And I think they both could be really, really good assistant college coaches, immediately, because they're both really good and they're good guys and they recruit. They have connections. They could recruit at the college level because they're
Right.
personable and they know what it takes to get it done.
And I mean, we talked about this with other coaches as well in the past, but I know it's different now because you got different types of middle schools. Like, for example, you got West Collierville now, and you got Schilling Farms. I'm not Schilling Farms. Is Schilling Farms still exist? That's right. No, that's part of West Collierville, right?
Correct.
So basically, the only middle school program that y'all really got is Collierville Middle and West Collierville, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I know we don't want to throw out like game plans out there and everything like that, but doesn't it usually help to have the same?
You're good, John. Keep going. You're good. You're good. You're good. It's good.
Okay.
Keep going.
Doesn't it usually?
We're
help?
live. I have dogs. It's okay. Go
Take
ahead.
them outside. No, I'm kidding.
I was looking over my shoulder. I didn't know what was going on.
Doesn't it usually help to have at least one middle school program that y'all are kind of close to run the same program or run the same plays as you do? Or is it kind of challenging when both schools are kind of connected to Collierville?
Well, you want them connected, obviously, so there's a vested interest. So you want to be able to have that. And then you want to have that connection. Like our Monday, our two middle school teams play West Collierville and Collierville Middle. So I'll be at the game, and it's unique. When I growing up, I never had two middle schools, so it's a rivalry per se, but also it's the same town, so it makes it a little different, a little interesting to say the least.
So as Memphis fans, talk about, like, I know we already talked about your major history, but just talk about, you said you went on like some few road trips, like Madison Square Garden. I believe you saw Duke versus Memphis back in the day.
Yeah.
You saw Memphis versus Syracuse back in the day when Carmelo Anthony played. But just talk about some players and some coaches that you actually watch a lot of film on and get a lot of these plays from as well.
Yeah. Those experiences, man, like we played in Puerto Rico, we played in Madison Square Garden, you're always evaluating and watching and just really just being in the moment. I think that's just the one thing that I was able to tell my kids now, is just try to be in the moment, because you don't know when you're going to get it again. And I think even for my team this year, I really like our team, and I tell our kids all the time, we only get this year's team this year. So we're just trying to be in the moment, trying to enjoy it, play together, and we're trying to continue to get better. But those experiences, man, it's just, every time I think about it, man, like just being in Madison Square Garden, being on the bench, it's just something that a lot of people can't even fathom. And then just being there and you see, we played USC. I wasn't there when Carmelo played. That was right before I got there. Right. But I was there when we played USC with OJ Mayo, and Dr. Jerry Buss was on the baseline across from the bench, the owner of the Lakers. So, unfortunately he passed. But, you just see so many people at our games. We were honestly, I think we were 137-14 in 4 years. I mean, it was just everywhere we went. And Coach Cal would talk about it all the time, where everybody's Super Bowl, and it was. I mean, everybody would come out. Any major alums from that school, when we would play them, was there. because they wanted to see us. I mean, they obviously, we had Derrick Rose and Tyreek Evans our last 2 years. But even before that, we were really good and we played really good teams, and it was fun, man. It was, it'd be great to go back and have an opportunity to work at Memphis, being an alum myself, but just trying to figure out, to have that pride and continue to, hope that they do well. At the same time, right now they're struggling, but hopefully something changes.
Speaking of
Wes.
scheduling, Coach, you alluded to earlier that Bartlett is playing more nationally ranked teams. Have you looked? I mean, are you wanting to increase your national? I guess you'd say national visibility, and play more higher ranked IMG people like that.
Well, if we have those types of players, I don't mind playing anybody. I think, for us, we're just trying to get better. We for Memphis, I think we played as tough a schedule as anybody right now. Especially playing Bartlett tonight. Of our this will be our 15th game tonight. We played Bartlett, Olive Branch, Christian Brothers, Center Hill, FACS. So, I think of our 15 games, I think 5 games, I mean, and then that's not even including the other teams that we played, Lake Cormorant's good. Just there's just so many teams, Haywood, and right now, like I was saying earlier, there's not very many teams playing that aren't good. So I'll tell you this right now, MHEA, the homeschool team, is really good, and they can play with anybody in the city. I think the best teams are Christian Brothers and Houston. I think those are the two best teams in the city. But MHEA can play with anybody else. I mean, Pure, the other homeschool team beat MUS. Last night Maz beat Briarcrest. So in the city of Memphis, and we played Maz. We played them early and we beat them, but you just don't know. Night in and night out, man. In Memphis, everybody's got a basketball player, and if you're not playing and playing well, and you're not bringing energy, I mean, you can lose. You can lose, and I think from a national scheduling standpoint, we're trying to continue to get better, and if those opportunities come up, we'll take them. I think from that event in Bartlett when they hosted those games, we were already an event, and then our event got canceled. And then I tried to get in their event, and then unfortunately we couldn't get in. It was just, timing, so, I mean, it's been chaos for scheduling, but, as those things develop, this year we, hopefully continue to play against teams that continue to make us better.
Yeah, I know COVID has kind of ruined everything for like your scheduling as well. Because I know you were talking about maybe going to Indiana again, like y'all did last year. You talked about maybe going to South Dakota in the near future as well, and playing that tournament where Houston's actually at right now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty. Like I said, good luck tonight against Bartlett. No hard feelings. I like both coaches. I hope y'all ended a tie. Let's just say that. But somebody's got to win the ball game, and good luck to you the rest of the way as well. Like I said, I told you earlier on, I've respected you. From day one when you were manager under Calipari. That's when I first got to know you after the basketball games and stuff like that. So the last 15 years have been a fun ride so far.
No doubt. Well, I'll see you there tonight, man. It's going to be fun. I'm with you. Win or tie.
Well, Scotty, thank you very much for being on the show. Thank you for everyone watching on Facebook, YouTube, our listeners on iHeartRadio. Also, fans, we will be putting out our entire weekend schedule on the website. So jump on over to the website here in about the next hour, and all that will be updated. But for John Sturdivant, I'm Wes Pruitt, Scotty Roberts.